Hello everyone, and welcome to today's showcase on Dark Souls 3. Now, Souls veterans, or actually playing the second one, will know who I dress as, and probably get a good guess what weapon I'm going to cover next. Yes, as Dark Souls 3 pays homage to Dark Souls 1 in many ways. Sir Leilhard was in actually all three games, though the big disgraceful appearance in the second game was a bit weak, but he was still there nonetheless. Although not nearly as challenging as he was in the first appearance of the game. Not with his friend Smog anyway. Anyway, the item of today is the Dragonslayers Spear. And a rather holy relic, if you would. Longed lab provided inside the game of Dark Souls lore. A special spear. Long, and with even longer range. The description reads, a cross spear associated with Ornstein, the Dragonslayer. A weapon of the gods imbued with the power or strength of lightning. Reading an old description, should read from the screen. Two-handed thrust utilizes the support of the cross and requires great might, but can pierce deep into the flesh of dragons and send mere men flying. The skill is the charge, but with a twist, a lightning charge. Charge the spear at the waist and wreath with lightning. When released, bolts with a final thrust. So there you are. So, overall, it's going to be a lot of similar ideas of a spear, just with more added stuff on top of it. Now, the appearance of the weapon, well, it calls itself a cross spear. Cross spears aren't really that prominent in Europe. Not very much anyway. They're actually more prominent in Japan in the Edo period. They're much more common, since the spear was a much more cheaper weapon to produce than a katana. The idea of a spear, or a cross spear, is to catch the opponent's blade in the cross section and to parry it away, and then follow up with a jab on your opponent. So it's like a cross guard, usually on swords, but it's on a spear. Pretty simple idea. But yes, more prominent in Japan than Europe. But whatever, it could happen either way. It could be either place, doesn't matter. Looking at the stats of the Dragonslayer Spear, physical is plenty impressive enough, but on top of all that we got lightning damage. So you take this at face value, you're starting off with pretty much almost 200 damage overall. Just starting off. Then you get the bonus damage on top of that, but goes at over 200, chances are you have this weapon. Moving on from that, we got the attribute bonus, but you got a D for strength and C for dexterity. That's alright, but the funny thing about that is the attribute requirement requires 20 in both strength and dexterity equally. Rather odd, is it not? Moving on from that, we got the lightning charge, which takes 17 and then 12, with the power attack added at the end of it. But there's something special about this charge which we'll see later on. Other than that, the weight is there at 9.5, which is a bit hefty for a spear to be honest, but it's not that heavy compared to most weapons in the game. It's manageable, and it's worth it too. So all around, you got a lot of damage being outputted, that's for sure. There's a lot of damage here. The animations, the basic attack is the spear poke, no surprise there. Can you take us to the power attack is? Yep, heavy spear poke. Now the 200 version, normal attack, is again spear poking. And again with the power attack 200, it's just more heavy pokes, but up uppercut. That's new. But the special move shoots a projectile. That's right. Now with that range, it's pretty much infinite. And the sprint attack is another heavy one. So with that mentioned, this weapon is special, so it requires Twinkling Titanite. But luckily, the lightning does scale. To be honest, with the faith scaling, I forgot to mention earlier, kind of overlooked that, sorry. But yes, you can get, it doesn't scale very well, but it does scale. You can see we actually got a lot of damage being outputted of this thing. So much damage. But with the Twinkling Titanite infusion, it cannot get any special conditions added to it. So, how's it do in field? Well, I'm pretty sure you guys know, but armor makes very poor insulation against lightning or electricity. This weapon really hurts anyone wearing suits of armor. Like, badly. Look at that. That's just a normal attack. That's just a power attack. 320 damage. Back attack is almost 700 damage. It's just overkill for anyone wearing a suit of armor. Won't think it'll work very good against bosses, but anything else, yeah. Nice long reach. Let's try the charge attack. Nice. Didn't do as much damage as I thought. Weird. Weird. Try it again. And that told me they did 820. That's really weird. What's the difference between those two attacks? You can see we did 406 damage, 60 damage with the normal charge. But however, I don't think I'm getting through any giant shields here. Maybe I'll get through a great shield, but I didn't bother testing it because you don't need to against enemies wielding it. Just use the lightning projectile and you'll go right through the shield. Moving on from the Gargoyle, the Dark Knight. Again, these guys are not normal knights. Even though they wear a suit of armor, they are more resistant to lightning damage than their cathedral counterparts. Even though I do a lot of damage, it's still not as much. I did do 600, so that's 200 less than against the cathedral knight though. But still, that is a lot of damage. It's a tremendous amount. So if you're going to use a spear, use this one. There's almost no downside, and almost no enemy fully resists lightning damage. It's good against nearly every enemy. Moving on to pros and cons of the Dragonslayers Spear. On the pro side, we got a lot of damage. Like a lot. That being said, we also got a lot of lightning damage added. That scales. You also have the projectile that can go quite a distance. And in total, it's just excellent lightning damage affects nearly every enemy in the game. Very few weapons naturally use it. Okay, on the con side, it's actually a bit hard to figure some cons in this. You get it late in the game. I think that's the only true con of it. Oh yes, and cannot be infused. Those two cons are pretty much the only ones I got for this weapon. So, moving on to the score for the Dragonslayers Spear. Damage gets 10 out of 10. That lightning damage is ferocious. Reach gets 10 out of 10 for having a projectile built in, one of the few weapons to do so. Animations gets 6 out of 10. Even though it uses the majority of the spear animations, it does have a slightly unique power attack, and then there's a special that makes up for it. Bonus gets 7 out of 10 for not only having good basic physical scaling and having that faith scaling with the lightning. Then we're on to Miscellaneous with 9 out of 10 for having lightning damage, a projectile, and having both sections be extremely powerful. So in total, I give the Dragonslayers Spear 42 out of 50. Awesome. That's what I call this weapon. Nothing short of awesome. So the legacy of Ornstein may have waned in recent titles, but the weapon sure hasn't. In fact, I think every time they let you use this, you got like no reason not to use it. It's just powerful every time. It's awesome. Excellent. And this game easily reflects that. Even though you get it late in the game, it's easily second playthrough, third playthrough worthy. More than that. It's excellent. But that's been Showcase for today. I thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Take care out there.